Hey, good morning, everybody. John here at Havoc Maker Studio. I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to get out today. Major internet issues over the past 2 days, and I'm hoping everything will be resolved today. But here we go. So we're going to jump in, just concentrate right now in this video, just for Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm going to give Games Workshop a bit of a breather because I'm about here with their releases and their behavior and everything that's been going on with Games Workshop. I'm just fed up with them, and I don't want to give them any news. I know I'm just a small fry in a big, giant, massive water world. Not Kevin Costner level water world, but you know what I'm talking about. But still, this is my silent boycott and maybe some negative comments. But let's get on with the cool stuff. So, Atomic Mass Games has a bunch of stuff that has just been revealed. Some of it's a little disappointing, not because of the content, but because of its timing. But overall, I would say it is a dang good thing. So, first, let's talk about their mini extravaganza that's going to be coming September 9th, 10th, and 11th of this year. It's going to be over there on their Twitch channel, so you can see that link right there in the description. If you have Twitch, great. If you don't, I'm going to be covering this. I guarantee it. We'll probably even do a live show on my Twitch feed, and that link is somewhere down in the description below. So no matter what, we'll be doing probably a recap video every day, or we might just do a live stream. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know. So then in the past, they've shown off things for not just for the Marvel Crisis Protocol, but also since they are in charge of handling all the Star Wars related games from Fantasy Flight Games and Asmodee, they now handle the miniature painting videos, the all the content releases. They're going to be handling the rules writing, everything. In fact, Atomic Mass Games had split up. I want to say earlier this year, or it might have been late last year, they had split up a little bit. A couple people went over to form, not over, but they created a new department, and that department inside Atomic Mass Games brought Star Wars personnel from Fantasy Flight Games over and created a new division. And hopefully, at least Legion wise, I think everything is going great. But I'm not too sure about X-Wing and Armada. It's kind of a meh game. A lot of less participation these days. Anyways, everything looks good so far, and it's probably going to be for the best having somebody that's dedicated and more focused on the gaming and hobbying experience than just trying to meet the numbers and coming up with weird, wacky rules and just overall just bad sales marketing. I'm not going to get it. That's the past with Fantasy Flight Games and all the Star Wars miniature IPs. So let's focus on the positive. So we're probably going to see models coming out for the rest of the year for both games, and then maybe just a glimpse into 2022. At least my suspicions will be we'll see a glimpse, probably the early and then the mid portion of 2022's releases. Lots of probably some sneak peeks or some hints. So that's really good, and it's going to be great to watch. I like that they're doing this. I know Games Workshop had did this before with last year during the height or the beginning of the pandemic, and so did Adepticon and a lot of other cons, and even some other companies, Gen Con also, were doing these online events like this. And I think it's actually really good because it's a great way for us, the fans that necessarily can't go to the big conventions, the big events, to be able to take part in these big reveals or these panels and such. So it's a really cool thing that they're doing this again. They already did it once this year, and they're going to do it again. So let's move on to the rest of our content. I got my big drink in the way, so I can't see on my monitor. So before we get into one of the big reveals today, I was talking about earlier that we had some kind of cool reveals, but it's also a little disappointing. So I'm going to focus first on the disappointing part. As you can see, oh, this is going to sound weird. As you can see, we have a brand new Iron Man miniature for Atomic Mass Games, Marvel Crisis Protocol. And the only other version that we have is Iron Man in the core box. Great model there, but it looks like, as with all their other miniatures that they've been doing since that core box release, the quality has just skyrocketed. Now, my disappointment, and I think there's other people out there, maybe not as vocal as me, and this is probably the reason why I don't get replies back from Atomic Mass Games or Will Pagini or anything, but it's okay. Somebody's got to be a critic on this, and I'm going to be the one that takes the hit. But I'm disappointed because they've already revealed earlier this year the Miss Marvel miniature, or at least maybe one half of the package that she comes in, at the same time that they were showing off the tie-in novel. I forget what the tie-in novel is right now, and I forgot to order it. I had assumed that when that novel came out, Miss Marvel would come out. But for some unknown reason, we still have yet to see the release of Miss Marvel. But we keep getting new releases like the Doctor Strange, Dormammu, and all those being revealed after Miss Marvel was revealed. And now we have, also, even though we have not seen the miniature or any of the artwork, they updated the team affiliations with with Colossus from the X-Men and Juggernaut from Brotherhood of Mutants. And so that's telling us that these miniatures are coming. So we got those three reveals, only one miniature actually being revealed. But since then we've had, let's see, Doc Strange, Clea, Mordo, Ancient One. Oh, goodness. Oh, Dr. Voodoo and the Hood, and I think Dormammu. So 7 boxes have been, new miniatures have been revealed since Miss Marvel, Juggernaut, and Colossus have been announced. So it's like, why can you just release the stuff we want? Or at least release the stuff that you've already talked about. It's frustrating because there's no communication from them about that. And it's like, why reveal this stuff? And then 4 months later, we've got another 8 releases, 7 releases, and that's basically 2 models each. So that's 14 miniatures when you've already announced 3. You get it. However, on the positive side, looking at this brand new Iron Man, I am digging the fact that they have really upped the ante on their sculpting. I'm just going to really focus on the Iron Man miniature right here. I like, and it looks like, and I could be wrong, but it looks like the repulsor or the jet boost or whatever, the blast coming from his right leg, that might be where the miniature is attached to the base, because it looks like his left leg might be a little free floating, or yeah, I think it's free floating. Yeah, because the back part's for the Hulkbuster. I think that's really awesome. I'm really super excited about that. I like those poses that are kind of suspended in the air because it gives it more of a dynamic feel to it. And then looking at the miniature itself, quality sculpt. I mean, it looks high end compared to the first Iron Man. So some people are like, well, is it going to be the same Iron Man? Or is it going to be a different Iron Man? We don't know. But so far, we have 2 different Spider-Men and we have 2 different Black Widows, and all of them have different abilities. So instead of just reprinting this one as Iron Man from the core box, it is likely, I think it's safe to assume as of right now, that this one will be different. So when we do get a new Captain America, a new Hulk, I have a feeling that we're going to get a higher, not only a higher quality miniature, but we're going to get new rules. I think it's safe to say that. Now let's take a look at the Hulkbuster. So looks like, since he is a heavier model, and I'm pretty sure they've got the weight of this for tipping purposes, the balance issues worked out. I'm just going to be recommending highly that you follow whatever instructions they have for that base, and try to get the Hulkbuster suit as centered as possible. not where its blast off components are. You can see that swirling smoke, and the engines push those all the way as close to the rim as possible. You want the main bulk of the body kind of hovered over the front. Okay, that's just some experience. At any rate, it's the Hulkbuster suit. So what is this going to be? Is it going to be obviously you're probably not going to field two of these, or not going to field both of them at the same time. So is this going to be similar to the Hood? And we'll take a look at that here in a minute, where, or like Wasp and Ant-Man, where they can change forms. So it's all up in the air. We'll see. But anyways, love the detail. I mean, this is high. This is almost like high end. Those Todd McFarlane toys, or like the PVC sculpt miniatures out, or dolls or statuettes that are out there. This looks like super high quality for that Hulkbuster. So I am excited for the quality. I'm not a big fan of Iron Man, but this is awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the reveal is on him. So let's move on, because I want to try to get onto the Hood and not let this video run too long. So the Hood, Parker Robbins, used to be a street thug, mixed it up with, I can't remember the character's name, or the villain's name, but basically got some magical boost. He's got some magic boots that let him, I think, run on the air, but I don't think we're going to probably see that. No, I'm not seeing that. And also he has a cloak of invisibility, learned some magic. And I mean, but he's never been like a major threat, like earth-shattering threat, but he is more than a street level villain than, like, say, Bullseye, but he's not quite cosmic level or earth-shattering like Thanos or Dormammu. He's somewhere in there. I would say kind of a B-list character, villain, not top end, but you know what I mean. Let's not waste time talking about it. So we actually got both cards here, and this is going to be the interesting one, because this model, let me see if they've got it here. What's interesting is you can see we got two different models that's going to come with him, both these models and the Dr. Voodoo model. And I imagine, oh, excuse me, I almost sneezed. He's going to have the ability to transform between the two. So let's explore that transformation. And along the way, we'll explore the miniature, or the rest of them as well. So both of these miniatures, his normal version and his possessed version, have double sides here. So let's talk about Parker Robbins, top to bottom, left to right. So 5 health on both sides of his normal version. We're just going to call him the Hood, and then we'll talk about the possessed. So the Hood, 5 health, so total of 10, medium movement, size 2, and only a 3 threat, which is very interesting. Pretty weak defenses, 2 in both energy and physical. Not really unexpected, because he is, like I said, he is a street level thug that was running around with like a sports jacket, or not a sports jacket, but like a zip up jacket, blue jeans, and tennis shoes, and he had some magic pistols and a cloak. Well, as you can see in the image right there. So not unexpected. He's not like high-end athlete or big time combat vet or anything like that. And a 3 mystic, which is good, because that should be elevated otherwise, because I mean, he has all that magical training. So his first ability is a mystic attack called Hex Shot, range 3, 4 power, 4 attack dice, and 0 power cost. You gain 1 power after the attack is resolved. You don't have to necessarily do damage. Just as soon as you're done doing the attack, you get 1 point of power. That's cool, because a lot of his stuff is very cheap on power. So rapid fire. If you roll, it looks like it's a critical success. Here, let me zoom up here. Here we go. Rapid fire. Oh no, is that a... I'll be darned. That's just a hit. If he gets at least 1 hit after the attack is resolved, this character may make 1 additional hex shot attack, and it has to go against the original target. And this new rapid fire attack does not cause another rapid fire to pop off. So you can target 1 person, and as long as you get 1 hit, you get to shoot at him again. Okay, you don't have to cause wounds, but you just have to have at least one hit on the dice. So you're going to gain from this attack, you're going to gain 2 power for 0. That's really cool. And I mean, if you needed 4 power, you could just shoot 2 people with this and pick up 4 power. So Dark Lightning, range 3, 6 dice for attacking, and then 3 power. If you roll the wild symbol, you have the arc ability, and after the attack is resolved, whether you did damage or not, you can choose any number of enemy characters within range 3 of the target character. That's equal to or less than the number of wild symbols you rolled. So let's see, 6 dice. Let's say you rolled 3 wild symbols, but you didn't cause any damage to anybody. But there's a bunch of characters in range. You can hit up to 3 of them with the arc ability, and they just take the 1 damage. Boom. That's really nice. And after it's resolved, the target character, after that's resolved, the target character takes a shock special condition. So you're still leaving something, even if you did not do any damage to that original character. That's actually not too bad for 3 power. And remember, at the start of every phase, you gain 1 power, or every time characters can be reactivated, you gain 1 power. So you could pop off Hex Shot, get your 2 power, most likely, and then pop off Dark Lightning. I'm just trying to give you ideas. I'm not sure if that necessarily is going to be working well for you given the circumstances, but just an idea. So for 3 power, you have your superpower called Black Arts. This is a bit of a tricky one, but you're going to choose an allied character that's within range 3. The chosen character can remove up to 3 dice of damage, which is really cool. It does. If you do that with that chosen character, it's going to also gain the bleed special condition. You can be affected by this power only once, so this could be good if you have any characters that are, say, immune to bleed. It'll be great to pair him up, especially since his cost is a 3. Be able to pair him up as kind of a buff for those characters that are immune to bleed, or maybe even have regeneration or something along that lines. That could be good. I can actually see some combination, especially since he has a 3 cost. Invisibility Cloak. It's going to cost 2 power. It's a reactive ability. When the character is targeted by an attack or would make a dodge roll, you may use this superpower. You use its Mystic Defense to defend and dodge, and all blanks that you roll count as successes. So you are increasing your success rate by 12-13%, which is actually quite significant. And then he has an innate ability. This is really cool, but we got to pay attention to this. Possessed by Nisanti. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. So when this character is damaged by an enemy effect, after the effect is resolved, you may transform into the Hood, the possessed version. Now, I would hold off. Now, this is me just personally. Because if this character would be dazed, so that's turned him to his damage side, before being dazed, it transforms into the Hood possessed. Okay? So, boom, now you're dazed. Congratulations. So you switch over to the possessed, then it's dazed. Ooh. Maybe, let's take a look at this. Maybe you don't want to be dazed. Maybe you don't want to wait till you're dazed. Interesting. The reason why, and you guys can figure this out, I think there's a lot of things going on here. So he's got different abilities on his or on his possessed side. So you might want to transform over maybe when he's at if he's down to his last 1 or 2 health on his healthy side, go ahead and take that transformation. So you pop up on your healthy side for possessed. So he's got all the same stats, but his first attack is a close combat attack called Razor Talons. It is range 2, so very close, but 6 attack dice at 0 power. Ooh, that's nice. That's really nice for a basic attack. And there's a lot of things that go along with this. So after this attack is resolved, this character gains power equal to the damage dealt. If you get a wild symbol, you're going to inflict bleed after the attack is resolved, which means You don't have to cause any damage to put the bleed on, as long as you got that, as long as you got the wild symbol. And then after the attack is resolved, if the target character was dazed or KO'd by this attack, you go back to your normal human form. So you're going to see a lot of this during his abilities. So if he dazed or KO'd the character, the creature, whoever it was you were fighting, boom, you're back to being the normal Hood. You're going to be doing a lot of flip-flopping, so just be prepared. Now we have Empowered Arc. This is our Powered Dark Lightning. Sorry. It is a mystic attack. It is range 3, 8 dice, but 4 power, which isn't that hard for him to get. It's really quick, especially if you've already taken damage, plus the power you're generating from any of your abilities or just the normal power phase. So, besides the 8 dice, if you roll any wild symbols, after the attack is resolved, choose a number of other enemy characters within range 3 or less, of the target character equal to or less than the number of wild symbols rolled. This is just like our healthy side. The chosen characters, though, this time take 2 damage instead of 1. The target characters gain shock just like normal, and then after this attack is resolved, this character transforms back into the Hood. So this is going to be one of those zinger type things where you're gonna have to be careful. It's like, when do you want to launch this? When he's almost dead, or KO'd, or even he's about to be dazed, or you've got some of your opponents, your target characters, that's like, oh my gosh, if I pop this off, I'm going to daze these ones, I'm going to wound these ones, set me up for whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, risk putting them back to normal Hood. Then there's a good chance you'll be able to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. His superpower is going to be costing 2. It's called Charge. This one requires an action. This character immediately makes a move followed by an attack action. It's going to be used once per turn. That's awesome. So for 2 power, you can run up and pop off Raise Your Talons. And we already have a medium movement, so that's actually good. That makes that Raise Your Talons basically a 2-point power. That's not too bad. Or if you got 6 power, you could do the Charge and pop off Empowered Dark Lightning, for example. Actually, you could probably do all 3 of those. Yeah, that's really cool. Demonic Resilience. When this character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, reduce the amount suffered by 2 to a minimum of 1. Woo! That is, I think that's one of the highest that I think I've seen, is be able to reduce damage by 2. I think that's really awesome. Now, here's the other tricky part. So we've already seen how he can revert to normal, the normal version of Hood from his 2 attacks. Mystic Vulnerability is an innate ability. So while defending against a mystic attack, this character does not add additional dice to its defense roll as a result of any critical success results. Okay. Not too bad, but that's only against mystic attacks. So you're going to pretty much, you're going to take it. Now, if this character is damaged by a mystic attack, after it's resolved, it transforms into the normal version of Hood. If this character would be dazed by a mystic attack, before being dazed, it transforms back to normal Hood, and then you're going to be on the dazed side of Hood. Does that follow sense? So normally, if you got hit with a mystic attack and you took damage, you just have to take 1 point of damage. Boom, take your point of damage. You're going to transform back into Hood. Now, however, if you were on your last wound here and you got hit and you're going to be dazed, like you have to switch over to the Hood's dazed side. You switch over to the healthy Hood side. Well, you switch back over to Hood normal, and then you daze him. So if he was already healthy, let's say he was healthy at with 3 health, it doesn't matter. He's automatically dazed. So this character is going to take some thinking on both parts of both you as the pilot and your opponent on having certain attacks available. What's the attack order of dealing with the Hood, because he has the potential to going back and forth, and he could potentially depending on the layout, I think he's going to stick around a lot longer than most Threat 3 characters with 5 health. I think this character could because of his ability to go back and forth between dazed and healthy. I think he might end up being almost a must-have. Like, hey, I got three threat. I don't care who's in there. Let's toss in the hood just for giggles, because I think he might end up being really good, guys. It's definitely going to require some forethought on both you and your opponent. Like, hey, if my opponent does bring out the hood, how am I going to deal with him? How am I going to deal with the hood? I better put somebody in with some mystic attacks to deal with the hood, that sort of thing. Or you're going to have to be setting up some combos to be able to do a certain amount of damage to keep them dazed or get them to flip-flop back and forth. I don't know, a lot to think about in the future. I think this is going to be a character to watch for. Somebody definitely you need to be concerned with. So what do you guys think of the hood? Is he gonna make it to your roster? What do you think of his abilities to be able to swap back and forth? Is it going to be a little too confusing? Or are you going to have to read up on it? I mean, thankfully we've got the cards we can kind of analyze and be prepared for him, regardless if you pick him up or not. I'm going to be picking up, not necessarily for him. I was wanting Dr. Voodoo, but now that I see his character cards, I think the hood's going to enter my team. Plus, I'm a big fan of that street level type characters that release that look of wearing essentially normal clothes and not superhero costumes. I really dig that. So, also, what do you think of Iron Man and the Hulkbuster? And am I like the only one here, at least here that maybe on the channel, that is disappointed that they keep pushing back other characters? Like I said, Miss Marvel, Juggernaut, Colossus. Let me know what you think about that. We already know that they kept pushing back Black Cat, Amazing Spider-Man, Carnage, and Mysterio. And I think maybe they're releasing this weekend. We don't know. It could change at the last minute. Anyways, you guys have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And hopefully I'll be back a little later, provided my internet stays stable. Talk to you guys later.